Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to the Harmony Islands. In the last episode, the Golden Hearts of the Swamp were forced to defend their territory from many unwanted guests, including Lalasi's own father. Thankfully, because she caught the sleep sickness the day before, she wasn't forced to watch on as Canoe Duke and her very good friend Sage chased him out of the territory. Sage is feeling very torn at the moment because it seems like his father's path of patience has been overwhelmed by his desire to just protect his family, so he's not really sure what those teachings meant anymore, and he's not sure how he's going to break the news to Lalasi either once she wakes up. Mercy has her own problems over here by the nest though. She is going to be giving birth on the very next turn to the baby from the rogue male, though thankfully she has plenty of support from mutations and even little Libra, who seems to have taken up the duty of nest mother in a way. She did repair this nest so Mercy could use it, and this seems like the perfect place for her to set up anyway, because not only could she possibly catch some fish in the water with her claw, but she can also pick up all of the acorns that drop underneath the tree, so this baby is going to be very well fed. And very well looked after too. It'll have plenty of friends to keep it company. And then the bandits over here, they had quite the surprise in store as well, because they managed to find a wanderer, one who actually wanted to join our tribe. So it seems like Miana may have been part of the old kingdom who used to call this area their home, who probably made all of these nests in here that the bandits have been using for their own purposes. Grim actually stumbled straight into her, and I wonder if maybe it was the sound of all of these babies in the nest that drew her near. She is unfortunately infertile, completely infertile, so she won't be giving us babies anytime soon, and I am super disappointed because she is so beautiful with her rosy fur and her leopard spots. But at the very least, I'm sure she will be able to help us gather food and keep all of our babies very well fed. I'm sure that's the first thing on her mind right now as she watches after Grim, though Grim is probably not too impressed with her, to be honest. I feel like she may have tried to intimidate this creature off until Anacela came over, her mother, and invited her to join the tribe. So we'll have to see exactly how this plays out in the next turn too, and maybe we should even have Mist toddle his way out of the nest, do a talk to all of the crabbits on the shore, and to stay very close to his sister. Then the only one we have back here to use the turns of would be Kirnuku himself. He actually wanted to make his way toward the waters now that his brothers, the bandit twins, have passed away. So let's have him do just that. We can go down this pathway where we found the healing fruit before, and we'll have him start carving out the grass through all of these berry bushes until he makes his way to the water side. Now we should be ready to skip the turn though, so let's go back here and make sure that we keep our eyes out on the grass again too, as we watch the baby that Mercy's going to have, because we do actually have another rogue male somewhere in the grass. He was wandering very close to our territory, so we're going to have to chase him away if he gets too close too. He doesn't have any new immunity genes like the Swamp Dweller did, so at the very least, even though this baby is likely to have that no paw, that crippled up no paw, he should have one of the brand new immunity genes. Immunity H, in fact, just like Lalasi, and they do look very similar too. They both have the no paw on the same side, they both have the same color of fur, and they both have the crown of ram horns. So even though this baby wasn't planned, it's clear to see that he's going to be very well loved with all of his family members right beside him. Mercy, his mother, and then Nutakir, who's going to stay very close too. So let's name him Ripple, because I feel like Mercy would want to give him a name to honor the crabbit in a way. The crabbit that they found down by the shores, who was Nutakir's very good friend, who unfortunately passed away on the very same day that Mercy came to visit. So just like the ripples in the ocean waves where they spent so much time together, the crabbit's legacy will live on in this brand new baby in the nest. And now it looks like a Moth and Cricket may have grown up too, so they can take on their very final gems. They were actually fishing recently. They were clearing out this tiny little area by the water side so Cricket could use her claw to grab up all of these fish. And actually, I think I see some that have just spawned in the water right here. They're not even moving, and I'm pretty sure it's because she's hidden very well in the grass. So we might actually want to leave this right here, and instead we'll have Moth make her way up the shore to clear out some of the grass in the surrounding area, just so we can keep Cricket very well hidden. We'll want to make sure that nobody is sneaking up on our creatures either. So far everything looks very quiet. We haven't even seen our first Berryina yet. We haven't seen a single carnivore stumble out of the grass, so hopefully Animeme is cooking up some sort of challenge for our tribe mates. That's part of the reason why Meyer was ready to set off on her own in the last episode, because she's ready to find her own adventures. She wants to find some action, and she doesn't really think she's going to find it where her namesake comes from over in the swamplands. So maybe we could have her pick up some of the rest of the berries on these bushes, and on the next turn we'll have her start making her way through the grass until she can find the action that she's looking for. Likewise, Sage is going to need to do a little bit of a soul searching, I think, and just in time too, because it looks like Lalasi's energy is all back now. The sleep sickness has worn off, so I wonder if she is still going to trail dutifully behind him. He's kind of been like a father figure to her, actually, so I don't think she would let him just disappear off into the grass, especially because he has yet to tell her what actually happened on that day. She must be very confused as to why he's so sad. But Canoe Duke, on the other hand, is going to be watching very close in the grass over here for this guy, this exact creature. So the rogue male has 10 days remaining on his lifespan, and honestly, Canoe Duke, you could take a swipe and make sure that some of that energy gets chipped away. Now he has 8 days remaining, so we're going to keep a close eye on him just so he doesn't get to him Lalasi. Some of you have mentioned that the rogue males don't breed with the creatures with the spiky body. I certainly hope that's true, because the no-paws would get pretty overwhelming in this pairing. For now though, we'll let Lalasi clear out some of the grass in the area, and we'll let Sage do the same so they can get through. He is looking very close by though, so maybe we want to scoot her over here just in case. And oh my gosh, is this the skeleton of her father? We never saw where he actually skittered off to, so I wonder if she's finding the remains of her father right now. Oh my gosh, how sad is that? And now she must be very, very confused. And Sage must be so sad as well, because he is going to have to tell her. I mean, now there's basically no question. He's going to have to let her know what happened on that day while she was asleep. So let's go back over here. We'll make sure that all of our females on this side of the island are protected too, because I'm pretty sure the rogue male is circling around right now. We'll want to move Mercy away. I think Cricket and Moth are far enough away that we won't have to worry about them. But maybe Libra could come over here just to pick up some of the acorns under the tree for the baby. That would be nice. Now Mercy and Nutakir could possibly do a little bit of swimming. I have noticed that the swimming is a little bit unreliable though. They should be able to move through the waters in the lakes and the ponds safely. They don't typically have to worry about drowning overnight, but sometimes I have noticed that they will take a little bit of damage. But this will help us hopefully unlock all of those water-related genes, and that would be perfect for this family too. So we'll scoot you down into the water. You can swim around with all of your little fishy friends, and we'll see if we can scare some of the fish off toward Cricket and Moth as well. We'll bring Mercy down here too, because we don't have to worry about the bird in our skies right now. We don't have any birds who would possibly swoop in and take Ripple away, so he should be perfectly safe if Mercy does a little bit of swimming with her very good friend. We'll sit her in the water too, and then we'll move back here to the bandits. You guys are still doing good, right? It seems like there's nothing dangerous in the grass anyway, so your borders are very secure. And not only that, but the twins are growing up now, so they can go a little bit further away from the nest. And we will have to have somebody take care of this mole right over here too. Maybe we could have Joker jump this way and swipe it from behind. There we go. And then we could actually have Mist come up here and collect the meat for us too. We'll have Grim follow very close behind because she wouldn't get too far away from her brother. And now she can watch on too as the rest of her siblings search for all of those shells, all of those big piles of treasures in the waves. Something tells me that Grim would not be too impressed by that. And oh no, Meme, you have picked up a leech. Oh, that is the worst. I don't think anyone is going to be close enough to actually help you, because Kirnuku is making his way toward the water side right now. So we're going to have to wait until the next turn to hopefully have Joker pick that off of you. Let that be a lesson to you though, Meme. Always bring backup to these missions. Always bring backup to the shell heist, because you never know what's going to happen. So Kirnuku, we'll have you keep making your way through the grass. And oh, look at that, you actually have a little mole to collect too. Excellent. So you can pick up just a little bit of extra meat for the rest of your tribe as you make your way toward the water. He is getting quite old too. He only has 7 days left, but I think he'll have enough time to at least settle himself down somewhere very, very close to all of those fish. Now it looks like Anacela can possibly settle down inside the nest. And I'm sure Mianna is going to stay very, very close to her too. She's going to want to support her so she can see this brand new little baby that's about to be born. She hasn't seen this many times in her life after all, so we'll have her sit right next to her as the day passes. In fact, we should be ready to do just that, as long as we go back here and make sure that that rogue male is not too close by. I don't see him in the grass, so maybe he's skittered off somewhere. Maybe he's not going to bother us on the next turn. Somehow I doubt that though. It seems like the rogue males never ever leave us alone. Oh, and look at that. We actually have some rain from this baby, so you are a very, very lucky baby indeed. You have the claw and the nimble fingers, so as always, it seems like the Balance sisters are watching down and bringing us the rain to show us that they're there. She looks like she could be a little rain cloud herself with her gray fur and her very, very fluffy coat, so I think we will actually name her Rain to honor the Balance sisters. But now we have so much food to collect, so much food on all of these berry bushes, and of course, Joker, you need to go rescue your sister. So let's make that the first order of business. She kind of got away from you, didn't she? We'll bring her over here so you can at least pick the leech off of her, but it looks like you're still going to have to lick her wounds. I'm not sure if anyone else is nearby enough to do that for her, because of course Grim is not too impressed with the situation here. She's not sure why her siblings love to play on the beach with their shells when they could be going out into the world and getting stronger. And in fact, she might bring her brother out deeper into the grass to try to find their own challenges. She's just the sort of creature who would want to see the world for all it has to offer, and her brother is kind of like her silent shadow following her everywhere she goes, so I'm sure they're going to find quite the adventures out in the wilderness too. Now let's just take a quick peek over here to make sure that there's nothing we have to be made aware of. You guys are doing just fine in the water, right? Yeah, they took some damage from the previous episode, so they should be just fine. Now their little baby is probably going to want to scoot a little bit closer to the water side just to see what's going on, to make sure that mom is okay, and to investigate the water side as well. Of course, we don't want to place any of the younger creatures into the water because they would probably end up drowning, but he can watch from the safety of the shore as Libra takes on her very final gem and picks up all of the acorns and the berries too. Just in time too, because despite all of the rain, Meyer is not interested in spending any more time in this area. So she can clear out a path for herself as she makes her way down to the beach. And then let's see if Cricket can find any more fish in the water. Yeah, they still have not moved from this area, it looks like. Or maybe they have. Are they just one tile away? I think they might be. She can't actually reach them from her usual fishing spot. So we might have to have her go through the water instead. Oh my goodness, that fish is very fast. Hello, little guy. It doesn't look like we can actually get you with her current fishing ability, but maybe we should give it a try? No, it skittered right away, unfortunately, but there's one next to Nutakir now. There are clownfish absolutely everywhere. Maybe you should try your hand too? No, even you, Nutakir, who has spent so much time by the water, is having a little bit of trouble getting those fish. So instead, I wonder if we should breed Nutakir and Mercy? They do have completely different immunity genes, and they have spent many days together. So I think he might be ready to ask if Mercy would like to start a family with him. We'll have them go ahead and breed, and then she can use her couple of turns to swim through the water so she can get all the way back up to her nest. Now let's bring Nutakir over this way to hopefully scare the fish a little bit closer to Cricket for the next turn. And Moth, on the other hand, can pick up all of these nice big juicy berries to help feed to her sister. Now where did that rogue male go? I don't see him in the grass just yet, but Canuduke is still going to sniff around until we can possibly find him because we don't want him getting too close to the main camp. So far, it seems like he may have wandered off toward the shores. He moves every single time that we make a move though, and we have made plenty of moves over in the bandits' territory, so he could be honestly absolutely anywhere at this point. We could bring Lalasi up here, I suppose, to unearth a bunny burrow for us. Oh, that's good. That is always good to see. That's probably why we have so many bunnies in the area, munching on our berry bushes, in fact. So we'll bring you guys back here to find another permanent nest. Oh my gosh, this is the Golden Heart's very first permanent nest. So maybe that means this is a good spot for them to settle down and finally have that talk. that talk about Lalasi's father, because it is just going to keep eating away at Sage the further and further away they get from the camp. Sage has always been taught to be kind and noble to all of the creatures that he passes, and he certainly doesn't feel like he acted that way against her father. So he will finally tell her overnight that he had a hand in that entire situation, as Canoe Duke in his old age continues to try to find that rogue male. Yeah, seems like he has definitely skittered off somewhere very, very far away from our creatures, so I suppose that's a good thing, but I would like to know exactly where he is. He doesn't have too much longer on his lifespan, so I suppose that's one silver lining. We just have a couple more moves to make back here with all of our bandits. We're of course going to have Miana pick up as many berries as she possibly can with her one running leg, and we could have Anacela help her finish off the rest of that job too. So we have plenty of food for all of the new babies. I feel like she's going to share a lot of stories about the Old Kingdom with these creatures as well. Even though Grimm was not too interested in these stories, she certainly didn't trust this newcomer one bit. It seems like Rain is going to be a little bit more calm and level-headed than some of her other siblings, including Meme, who charged off on her own. At the very least, Meme, you could pick up some of these berries before the bunny steals them all. That way Canoe Duke can still make his way through the grass. It would be much easier for him to get around if he had somebody to play leapfrog with, of course. So who knows, maybe Grimm will merge up with him since they do have a common interest of getting far, far away from this camp. Now the last thing we'll want to do before we skip the day is just make sure that the mutation menus are set up correctly. I think for the most part I want to leave these open for Nutakir and Mercy just in case we happen to unlock some of those water genes. We still have quite a ways to go, but with a couple of creatures helping by swimming around together in the water, we might be able to do it before they pass away. We'll just check their eyesight to make sure that that won't be an issue. Mercy actually has a perfect eyesight, and Nutakir's is a little bit short-sighted, but I think the odds are still in our favor. So let's zip over here and see what Mercy's very first planned baby is going to look like. The very first baby of our brand new family. Oh my goodness, the stripes are back. Excellent. I was hoping that another creature would have the stripes because so far Sage is the only one. So thankfully we won't have to worry about losing them anytime soon. And I think we'll name this baby Zen, since he does look very similar in coloring anyway to his grandfather, the once sagely Canoe Duke. And oh my goodness, this is actually his last turn too, so in his old age, he might want to make his way back to his family. We'll have him pick up a couple of these berries just so he has some food to bring back, and then we'll settle him down right next to his brand new grandchild and his daughter too. I'm sure he will enjoy spending a little bit of extra time with his family. So let's make sure there's nothing in the area that we have to attack, nothing that we have to defend ourselves from. So far everything looks okay, and I don't see that rogue male either. So it should be safe for Meyer to keep adventuring down the shores. We'll have her comb her way down the beach, and we'll make sure that she doesn't pick up any of those leeches either. Though she has found one of the clown koi. Oh, this is a good spot to go fishing too. If we could chase them straight down the waterfall, somebody could actually sit down here and catch all of the fish that swim downstream. That might be a good idea for the future if we do have a good fishing line. Now Libra, you might actually need a little bit of help to pick up all of this food. You can do the shells at least, but then let's call Ripple over here so he can pick up some of the little berries too. I'm sure he would enjoy helping out in whatever way he can while he watches Nutakir swim around in the water. Let's see if we can hopefully scare some of the fish toward Cricket. Maybe if we move him right here, they'll move toward her. No, it seems like they don't even realize that Nutakir is in the water right here. So why don't you go ahead and at least try to grab up some of the fish? No, it didn't work out for you, but yeah, it seems like the fish are very, very quiet right now. So maybe Cricket, if you move here instead, you could actually swipe up these for him. Yeah, Cricket is certainly becoming a very good angler, though not without some help. And I'm sure Moth wouldn't mind swimming down here to chase the fish the rest of the way. It seems like Kirnuku might be about to meet up with them too, and I'm sure he would be very, very impressed by Cricket's fishing skills if he happens to see them. Let's have Grimm call her brother up a little bit closer. We'll have a mist make his way up next to the cactus so she can move right around it. There we go, that really lights up the way for us. And that makes it so Kirnuku can go a little bit further too. Grim doesn't have much interest in fishing, so she's not going to follow him the whole way, but at least this gets them both a little bit closer to their goals. Kirnuku, for one, is just close enough to spy moth in the water. He is just close enough to peer at her through all of this grass, so they must be quite surprised to stumble into different creatures at this point, though he was one of the older generations, so he does remember living on this portion of the island. Things have certainly changed around here since the last time he saw his family, but I'm sure he's very, very happy to see that his mother's legacy is living on with all of these different fishing creatures. Now for some of our very final turns here, why don't we bring Joker over this way to, of course, lick the wounds of his sister, and that is going to harm him as well because she does have that spiky body. Oh Meme, you have been quite the troublemaker this episode. Let's have you at least pick up the berries so you can give your brother some food to eat, as a way of saying thank you, of course, for getting you out of all of that trouble. And now we will make sure, as they make their way back down the shore just like their fathers did before them, that they will be very, very close so they can always pick the leeches off of each other and keep each other safe too. He is very strong, Joker. He's kind of the muscle in this operation, so he'll have to stay close just to make sure that she doesn't run into any carnivores. Now Miana is still sharing all of her sweet stories about the old kingdom. Maybe she's even teaching Rain how to actually craft these nests, because the bandits have kind of forgotten in all of their time in this area with all of these different permanent nests in the savannah. They don't typically make their own nests anymore, so maybe she'll pass along that knowledge. It's something she never had the chance to do herself, so at least she knows that Rain could make very, very good use of that knowledge. This gives Anacela a good opportunity to possibly look for some more food too, as she leaves her baby in the very good care of Miana. I'm so glad that we found her. She's like a little mentor to Rain almost, and I'm sure she's very, very pleased too. The babies here would give her a joy that she has probably never felt, and she figured she never ever would. And then these guys back here, Sage and Lalasi, I guess in the next episode she'll have a very big decision to make. Sage, after all, is going to continue making his way around these swamps to find his purpose and to soothe his very troubled mind. And Lalasi, I mean, she wouldn't really go back to the main camp, would she? Because she knows that Kanuduk also wanted her father out and had quite the hand in doing so. So she doesn't really have anywhere to go. Her mother passed away as soon as she was born, and Sage was the only one who ever truly looked after her. So she'll either have to find it in herself to forgive him or wander off on her own somewhere else on the island. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!